I want to continue the story of David. We left off yesterday with David hearing the reward 3 times. And I've got to believe that he then started saying, well, I'll kill the guy. I mean, he's nothing. And word got back to King Saul. And so King Saul called David to himself. And so David went in with King Saul. And as a side note, I'm going to talk about tomorrow how powerful King Saul was. But he's called into King Saul's tent and pretty much tells Saul, look, I'll kill the guy. I mean, I've got this. And I want you to notice a couple things. The first thing I want you to notice that David never calls Goliath by his name. He calls him a Philistine, this Philistine, or this uncircumcised Philistine, which pretty much means, look, he's not part of the covenant. He's not on God's team. So, I mean, he's already dead in my eyes. So, I mean, just let me go take care of this. And so he uses those words, and I want you to see first that, you know, David, words have power and names have power. So David doesn't even acknowledge this guy because, you know, Goliath, when someone spoke that name in that camp, you know there was rumbling. The whole army was hiding behind rocks when Goliath came out. So, they were calling him by name and saying, oh my gosh, Goliath, So when that name was spoken, fear came on. Well, David didn't even speak the name. I mean, David didn't care what the guy's name was. All he knew was he was defiling or defying God's people. And David just wasn't going to stand for that. So he goes in there and then, Saul says, look, then Saul starts building Goliath up and says, look, this guy has been, he tells David, look, you're but a youth. And this guy has been a warrior from his youth. And I mean, it's just kind of crazy. And David then says, no, wait, look, let me tell you a little bit something. I mean, I don't tell everybody this, but when I was out watching my sheep, when I was doing my job, I was practicing for this day. I didn't realize it, but as I was going through life, challenges came upon me. He talks about a bear and a lion that he killed. So David said, look, I've already killed a lion. They tried to steal my dad's sheep out in the wilderness. I was by myself. He didn't say that, but it's implied. Look, I didn't have no help. Killed the lion and the bear. And he says, this uncircumcised Philistine will be just like one of them. So David, in his mind, it's no big thing. Look, I've already done it. I've got the experience with this. Let me go get this guy. And so Saul pretty much says, go get it. But the lesson I want you to learn today is about the words and the power of the words, and that the one word and the one name that is above every name. And you'll find that in Philippians 2, 9 and 10, where it says that God has exalted him above every name. And at the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. So what I want, and I don't care what the name is. I don't care if we're talking about cancer, bankruptcy, divorce, any of those, any name that you can name, any kind of disease. You name a disease, the name of Jesus is above that disease. You name anything, any name that you put, it's going to bow the knee. And the name of Jesus is above that name. So I want you to go through the day today and just kind of think about, when you've heard the song, Jesus, there's something about that name. It's power. It is power. And so, and it's love. It is so much. But that name, there's something about it. And we have been given that name to use. And we'll talk about that in the next lesson or two. But I just want you to be encouraged today that, if something starts coming upon you, just use the name of Jesus. Just put the name of Jesus on that situation. And the peace, Jesus says, I give you a peace that will surpass all understanding. There'll be a calmer peace come on it. But right now, I want to end this lesson. It's kind of going on, but I wanted to give you that. I wanted you to see that David didn't call Goliath by name. And I want to encourage you, if you have something like, I kind of see, how the whole army of Israel cowers at Goliath when they hear that. And I kind of see in a spiritual realm, in the physical realm, when we hear the word cancer, and I've had people die from cancer in my family. I've had, I don't claim to have it all figured out, but I know the name of cancer bows the knee to the name of Jesus. And if we can get this thing figured out, if we can figure out how to apply that name by faith, cancer will bow the knee. I think it starts with, if we look at David's lesson or anything, bankruptcy, anything, will bow the knee to the name of Jesus. I think it starts with not calling it by what the world calls it. Don't give it power. Take the power away by putting the name of Jesus on it. So anyway, I've gone a little long. I'm gonna pick this lesson back up tomorrow, but I really do thank you for tuning in. And if anyone that has been following me and watching me is wondering, I kind of made myself a challenge or a promise that I would do this 30 days in a row for Monday through Friday. So 6 weeks I'm going to be here doing this, and I'm kind of getting to where I like it. So I may do it a little bit longer. But anyway, I just want to, I want to challenge you to do something, get a little bit out of your comfort zone, and you'll start growing. So anyway, again, thank you for stopping by and watching this.